Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode of The Bearded Gentleman. On today's episode, I'm going to be showing you guys a few tricks on how to make your life living in an apartment a lot easier when it comes to your kitchen. The big problem with a lot of apartments is they have really small kitchens. Mine is definitely a small kitchen, much smaller than I would like. So there's a few things I've learned over the years. I've got some things that I bought at Walmart that are going to help us out, and I'm going to show you guys a few of my tricks. So stay tuned, come on in, and let's check out what I got. Alright guys, so as you can see here, I did do a little bit of shopping. Now, I went to Walmart to get some of my things here because I wanted them to match some of the items that I already do have in my kitchen. So I spent about $50 or so all told on all this. You can do this a little bit cheaper than that if you go to the Dollar Tree, dollar store, anything like that. You don't have to get exactly what I got here. For example, these are about $5. I got these because they will match my silverware liner. You can get them a lot cheaper than that if you get just the plain plastic ones. But let me run through what I've got here. First, these white baskets. These are under $1 a piece. You can use these in your pantry. In the pantry, you've got all kinds of different stuff. You got cereal, you got Pop-Tarts, you got canned goods, you got granola bars, you have hamburger helper, you name it. There's all kinds of different stuff in there. And depending on how your pantry's laid out, you gotta move stuff to get to what you want and all that. Use these. They're under $1 a piece. You can put everything in the trays, no matter where they are. You figure out where you want to put things. At some point, I'll probably get some labels to put on the front of these. Then whenever you need something, you just grab the tray out, grab it, put the tray back. These mesh drawer liners. Like I said, I got these to match my silverware liner. These are going to be for the utensils in the utensil drawer to keep them from moving all over the place. These are going to go with the mesh drawer liners. Now, there are mesh ones of this size that will match these. Unfortunately, the vendor that I found on Amazon is currently out of them. So as soon as they have those available, I will be ordering some mesh versions of these, and I'll repurpose these black ones for something else. Pie tins, 8-inch pie tins. These are under $1 a piece. Get 2 of these and get some marbles. We're going to make a Lazy Susan for just a couple of dollars. A lot better than spending $15 on a Lazy Susan. We're going to use these in the cabinets. We're going to do like our flour and sugar and things like that in these. It's going to make it a lot easier to find what you need and also to figure out when you're almost out of something. So I got 2 of these to go with what I already have. I've got a small spice rack here. This can go in place of the Lazy Susan. I went ahead and got both because they were really cheap, and I'll find a purpose for this as well. And the final thing that I bought is this 3-tier can organizer. That's going to go in the pantry and help me out with all my canned goods. Make everything in there a lot easier to get to. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do before you start on any of this, make sure all of your dishes in your kitchen are clean. Account for everything, all your pots and pans, utensils, everything. There's no worse thing in the world than spending a couple hours organizing your kitchen, then you open up your dishwasher and find you got a whole dishwasher of pots and pans, and now you got to reshuffle everything to make it all fit. So make sure your kitchen is completely clean. Make sure you don't have any pots or pans laying around. Make sure that everything that's going to be used and you're going to need to find a place for is clean, and you can do it all in one shot. So come on in close and we'll get started with getting these drawers organized. Alright guys, so these are my 2 main drawers that I have in my kitchen. This one obviously has my silverware and all my knives, which I do have way too many of, I will admit. I will be going through and getting rid of some of these at some point. And then this is my utensil drawer. Now the problem that I have, I've already kind of fixed this one, but I've got the little black drawer liners, the non-slip drawer liners. They're supposed to keep things from sliding around. They're great for up in the cabinets, but in the drawers, honestly, they move around a lot. You open and close this a lot, especially if you do it with any kind of force whatsoever, and everything ends up pushing to the back of your drawer here. Then either the drawer gets stuck or it's impossible to find things. No matter what you do, this never stays clean and organized. Everything in here also moves around. I'll end up with, everything will be pushed back. There'll be this space, and it just looks terrible. So that is where these come in. Now, I've got 4 total of these. And if you notice, like I said, they match my silverware liner. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do 3 across in this drawer. Then we're going to use the black inserts. Those are going to go here in the front and hold the small things like the meat thermometer, the wine opener, things like that. And then there's one of these that's going to go over here, and it's going to hold all the knives. And then I'll be able to put some things in the back behind here to keep this from moving all over the place. So I'm going to do that real quick for you guys here right now. And when you come on back, you're going to see what a difference this makes. All right, and so with the magic of YouTube, there we're closing them. And here is the finished product. So as you can see, over on this side, let me turn and help you guys out here a little bit. So in this drawer here, I got the 3 long racks here, side by side by side. I've got all my spoons here, all my spatulas here, and then this has like wooden spoons. It's got my cheese slicer, cheese grater, and my smaller knick-knack stuff. Here I've got my ice cream scoop and my can opener, meat thermometers, potato peeler, wine opener. Here in the front, we've got toothpicks. This actually works really well because this is all wedged into here. So there's literally, they can move within the trays here, but this isn't going to slide all around like it used to. My wooden hammer, I use this primarily for breaking up my ice in my freezer. So that's this drawer. It's going to work a lot better for us. It's not going to slide around. We're going to be able to get to everything a lot easier. So that's that one. Now let me take you over to the other side. Take you over here. And this is the silverware drawer. I still need to do some more work here. I've got the long tray here. I got all my knives in them. I am going to eliminate some of my knives at some point. And I'm also going to get a knife block to go on my counter here. So I'll be able to get some of these out of here. It'll be a lot easier. This is my bread knife. It's got its own little holder there. And I got my knife sharpener down underneath that. All my silverware here. Plug everything, all that. Got my pizza cutters. And then, you guys saw earlier, I got a lot of different knives. So there's actually a bunch that I don't use. And they're sitting back here. Now the problem I am going to have is it's going to continue to slide back like it was before because there's nothing back here to stop it. So what I'm going to end up doing most likely is when I get the silver, the stainless steel liners, the small ones to go in the utensil drawer, those black ones that are in there right now, I'll put those in here and move a couple things into here and make it so that this one doesn't slide around. So that's a real quick, easy way to organize your drawers. So that everything is very, very easy to get to. Next step, we're going to move up top. We're going to move up into the cupboards where I have all my glassware and all my plates. So let's reposition and we'll see you guys here in just a moment. All right, guys, so we've moved up top here. We've moved up into the top cabinets. This is where I have my dinnerware and my glassware. So what I've done here to help me out with some space, got all my Tupperware up here. Now I try and do really good about only having the Tupperware that I have lids and everything for. So for example, and I also try and keep everything together. So all of the Tupperware and all the lids that correspond to it are right in here. And then I can set that one there. And then I've got another one. You see how handy these totes are coming in already. So, got all these, and the lids for them are right here. Everything stays together. Probably the easiest way people lose control, especially if they're Tupperware, is when they wash it and they put it back away. They start just throwing things in there. I'm absolutely guilty of it myself. I've done it all the time. That's my one habit that I've really tried to break lately, is when I wash my dishes and I put them away, I put them back correctly. It takes 15 seconds more to put it back correctly than it does to just throw it in here. Take 15 seconds, pull the thing out,
stack your Tupperware in here correctly and keep it all together. It works a lot better. So over here, you can see here I got this shelf, this wire shelf here. So what I've done here, I've got all my small plates up here on top. I've got my bowls. There's a total of 8 bowls in this set. I can only fit them 3 high in here. So there's 3, then there's 3 more behind them. Here I've got paper plates, I've got real plates. Now if I ever cook a good meal and I want to use nice plates, I got those all right here. Over here I've got my little bowls. I use these all the time when I'm cooking. These are absolutely great for when you're preparing a meal. Get all your ingredients together, measured out, cut up, get everything set to go before you start. It makes your life so much easier. So for example, with this, I'll take all my seasoning that's going to go in something. I'm going to mix seasoning together. I measure it all out, put it all in here. Then when I'm ready to season my food, I just dump it in. It's ready to go. Another thing these are absolutely great for is, like for example, tonight I made some chicken tenders and French fries. Put your sauce in this. Instead of squirting it all over your plate, makes not quite as bad of a mess. Put your sauce in here, serve it on the side with your plate. It's a little more professional looking. It just looks better. So that's a good thing to do there. Behind, I've got all these. Let me pull these out. These are the cheap little plastic bowls from Walmart. They're like 2 for $1 or something like that right now. So I've got a bunch of these. These are very, very handy for what I was saying before about preparing your ingredients. Say your recipe calls for half a chopped onion. Chop your onion up, put it in here, and then you're good to go. Set it on the side. When it's time, when you're cooking, to throw the onion in, throw it in, you're good to go. And then the 2 other bowls that match these are back there in the back. I never use that many bowls, so it's okay to have those hidden back there. Now we move across here to the other side. Let me move over here. Yes, I'm using a step stool because this is a little high up and I'm not exactly vertically blessed. So here I've got all my normal drinkware that's used every day. That's why I got it here on the bottom. All my plastic cups are all right here. I got a set of the Coca-Cola glasses. I've got 3 of those. So those are all here. Got my larger glasses. These started off as a set of 8. I've lost a few over the years. I've got 5 left. So here's the tall ones. Here's the smaller ones. Also got 5 of those left. Up top here, don't use these very often, but these are like for alcohol. So a good, shot glass, or say you want a whiskey on the rocks or something, this is a perfect glass for that. Stemless wine glass here. Wine glass with a stem here. I've got a couple of pint glasses. I've got a couple of pitchers over here. And so as you can see, I got everything all lined up. It's really easy to find everything. It just works really, really well. This is actually something I did a couple of months ago. And as long as you keep on it, put things back where they go, it stays like this. I haven't had to redo this since I did it 2 months ago. It's worked out great. So this is a good way. Use these trays for your Tupperware, for your little miscellaneous things, and just go through and organize. If you don't have very many people living in your household, you don't need an entire shelf of glasses. Consolidate down to what you need, and your life will be a lot easier. So that's this cabinet. Let's move over to one of the other cabinets, and let's see what I got going on over there.
Alright guys, I want to really quickly show you guys how to do this Lazy Susan thing. If you don't know what a Lazy Susan is, this is a Lazy Susan. It's a spin table, turntable. You can use this, you can put different, like say for example you have it up in your pantry, you have your different seasonings and everything on it, you can spin it around to get to what you need to, grab it, spin it around, and there you go. These cost usually about anywhere between $10 and $20, and I've even seen some even more expensive than this. Now my problem is this is a 12-inch Lazy Susan. This will not fit in any of my cabinets. My cabinets are all only about 10 or 11 inches deep. This is 12. So it ends up sticking out a little bit. So here's the cheap solution. Remember those pie tins I showed you earlier? Check this out. This was $1 at Dollar Tree. Go find a Dollar Tree. Cut it open. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure they're not on top of each other. Now, in reality, maybe I should have a few more, but check that out. For $3, 88 cents a piece for the pie tins, $2, $1 for the marbles at Dollar Tree, and there you go. There's a $3 Lazy Susan. Put this in your cabinet. You might want to get more marbles. I probably actually will pick up another set of marbles tomorrow after I get off work. But here's your marbles. There you go. Lazy Susan. I got one more cabinet I'm going to show you guys in this video. Let's get set up and I'll show you guys that. Alright guys, here's the last video for part 1. I'm splitting this up a little bit because I got a lot to show you guys. So this is it for part 1. This is my least used cabinet in my entire kitchen. This is over next to the sink, above the sink, next to the window. My deep fryer, I don't think you can quite see it in shot here. This is where I keep the deep fryer on the counter, right here. Here's this cabinet. On the bottom, I've got my large spices. So, for example, my applewood rub that I use when I barbecue. I've also got my Montreal chicken. I use this in a lot of different things, so I have the Sam's Club size version of this. So it doesn't fit really anywhere else. This is a great place for it. Behind it is my extra iodized salt. Here is my Lazy Susan that I just showed you guys how to make. Most of these seasonings are actually extras of what I have in my spice rack that's actually out on the counter. But there's a few things here that are unique but not used very often. So this is a great place for those. Going up to the middle shelf here, I've got my big water cups, my big Circle K cups. I use these a lot for when I'm refilling my cat's water fountain. Basically just whenever I need a lot of water, this is a good thing to have. I just keep these on hand. Got a few of these cups, I've got the lids for them. Over here on the side, let me scoot over here. I've got a big thing of honey, red wine vinegar that I don't use very much, agave nectar. These are things, like I said, this is where you put the things that you don't use very often. So put them all here. Up top here, I've got hot cocoa mix. It's summertime, I'm not going to be using that anytime soon. Lemonade mix, I'll probably be making some of that. Some of my coffee cups, coffee filters. I actually don't have a functioning coffee maker right at the moment. And I don't drink coffee too terribly often, but I have this on hand. I'm going to get another coffee maker, probably just a cheap basic one. That way if I ever have any guests over and they're coffee drinkers, I've got a way to make them some coffee. And then way up on top here, this is actually my scale. This is what I use to weigh out all of my meat. I try and buy all my meat in bulk at Sam's Club or wherever I can see it on sale that I can get a big container of it. And I use that. It's actually an old shipping scale. It calculates shipping rates and things like that. Obviously, that's not what I'm using it for, but it measures weight. That's really all you need it for. So I break all my hamburger out into 1 pound packages, anything like that. So that's just what I use the scale for. I use it kind of frequently, but it's up there, it's out of the way. So that's the last cabinet here that I'm going to show you guys today. On the next episode, I'm going to go through a couple of my other cabinets over the stove where all my baking items are, and then we're going to move over to underneath the counter where all the pots and pans are. And then probably in the third part by itself is going to be the pantry. So stay tuned, guys. I'm going to show you guys a lot on how to help organize your apartment kitchen, and I will see you guys on the next episode of The Bearded Gentleman.